So the new format's going way.
It's good though. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
So like,
it's interesting. Like the whole time ish. I mean, there are down points, right?
yeah, but I think
the problem is the show's way too long now.
I think
right?
we continue to keep it interesting, but like maybe we need to go down one story even.
Just 2 stories in each segment?
Maybe, right? Like we are able to do a deep dive, particularly with all of us. We do go on some tangents. I think this show was better on the tangent scale than last time, but I think like a lot of good questions are being asked, a lot of good conversation is being had. I think just we'd be able to shorten it up if we went from, we did, launch minute in one story and then maybe one other story, get the hell out of there.
JK3 says, I like this new format a lot. I do too. I don't think it's quite dialed in just yet. I think we did better. Someone saying, Amigak, tomorrow's much better than last week. Ben didn't shout over everyone. That was actually strategic, and that was me purposely knocking people out of scripts and making sure that they started a conversation as opposed to what am I trying to say?
Monologue?
A monologue, yeah.
Richard on YouTube says executive producer prerogative. Yeah.
Astro YYZ, I am finishing this show. Well, science is next. And then I have to get on a flight to New Zealand. I haven't packed yet either. So.
Well, you better get your list ready.
Yeah.
I don't make a list though.
And how many times have you forgotten things?
I didn't forget anything on my last trip there.
You also didn't pack right after the show last time.
Didn't I?
Prismara says, I certainly had a good time. I think fundamentally at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just us getting up here and presenting. I've been saying this for a long time.
There was both though. Like there were comments talking about like, I really like it, I really like it, I really like it, I really like it. But there were other comments that were like, whoa, you guys talk over each other too much. Like there's way too much talking. There's way too much interrupting. There's way too much like.
And I think I'm going to use this in this way now. I think talking and interrupting is.
I love
ridiculous.
those things. I
That
love those things
is
so much. It's not even funny.
frightening.
It's my favorite thing ever.
That is frightening.
Isn't that amazing?
It's so good.
What's happening?
That's-
That's funny. I want one.
Look, at the end of the day, I feel like the show is live because we want to have a conversation with you and with each other. And if we're just getting up there and monologuing, actually, this is exactly the right word, then why are we live at all? Why not just pre-record the monologue, edit it together, get rid of all the mistakes, and then post that? And maybe we will, by the way, if we get enough funding to bring back Space Pods in a way that we can record the monologues and not just have a talking head for 5 minutes and actually put some B-roll in there and make it a compelling story, I would be okay with that. But otherwise, it just doesn't. I'll get back to the story of me burning down the house.
Burning down the house. Algorithm!
Here's the thing though. Like, the nice thing is that like, if we're not presenting it as news in a newsy way, if that makes any sense, then it doesn't have to be whatever the latest thing is.
Yeah, and I don't think we were across the board. Like, we didn't have whatever the latest thing is. We had a little bit of that.
I mean, a little bit.
I think I like it.
But I think that's what some people like watch these for, is like for whatever the latest news is.
I mean, a handful of people, but like if you're looking at for the latest news, just go on to Space News and NASA Spaceflight. They're going to have this stuff way faster than us.
I suppose. Gary Burgess on YouTube says, I can't hit it. Good format. It's like I'm sitting around the set with you.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want
We're
you to
having
be part of this.
a fireside space chat.
Yeah, but without the
Don't say
fire,
fire.
because...
Fire.
Oh,
Too
sorry.
soon, man.
Doggone it.
Too soon.
Sorry.
Too soon.
Sorry.
Yeah, seriously, too soon, man.
Sorry.
She
that
was
was
over
terrifying.
triggered.
So, let's talk about how I almost burned down the house. Burning
Yeah.
down
The
the
thing
house.
was, I was like, man, I feel like it smells weird, but like, I was like, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, no, it smelled
Okay, well
weird.
that's your fault then.
Yeah, it was not fine. So,
That's totally 1,000% your fault.
When do I ever assume the house is like smelling like burning plastic because it's on fire?
Because when you smell burning plastic, you should assume plastic is burning.
and
What's
it was.
wrong with you?
In fact, a 50 amp circuit had failed and was still...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, 50 amps.
That's a few amps.
At 2...
You can't even run a vacuum
240.
cleaner with 50 amps.
It was a 240 50 amp circuit that had failed.
All
It's
right,
got a
we're going
point
to run this like news. I don't know what any of those freaking things mean.
Okay, a whole lot of energy
I know, I get that. I'm not stupid. But like
Enough
you
to-
keep saying like such and such volts and such amps. I honestly, I don't know
just
what the
say it's
hell
like-
the difference are between amps and volts. I couldn't tell you to save my life. I don't know what the conversion is on that. You use big numbers. I'm like, cool, big number must mean bigger thing. But I know that's not always true because of interlace and progressive. Thank you so much for getting in my stupid head about that kind of crap. Like, cool.
Is it like
big
4
things.
times the energy of a regular?
I'm gonna. What
Like,
was
that's
it?
the
It's
part that I
50
don't understand.
What's amps to miles per hour?
Sincerely, because that might actually help me.
How about this? The power supply, the big power supply, is 65 watts for the computer that you have, right?
6.5.
65 watts.
Okay.
Right. If I did this math right, that breaker is 11,000 watts.
Wait, you said
That's
oh
a
my
lot.
God, what?
11,000 watts
Okay,
of power.
so there's watts, there's amps, and there's volts, and
Yes.
I don't understand the difference between the three of those things.
So
I don't need to know all of those things. What happened was, yes, we have a Tesla. Yes, we plug it in at home. Yes, we've had a Tesla for 4 years, and we plugged that one in at home, and that seemed perfectly fine. We didn't always plug it in at home because we don't need to, because thankfully, at the company that shall not be named, one of the many companies around here that shall not be named, we can plug it in at work. So cool. So we don't always do that. We got a new car that we do plug in at home, sometimes, actually more times than not, and all of a sudden, it would stop charging in the middle of the night, and I didn't know why. And honestly, I don't care. Not my car, his car, because...
car.
Long story, it's a totally different story. We won't get into that. Anyway, so sometimes I would wake up in the morning and be like, your car wasn't charging. And I'm like, I don't really care, not my car. And then I would go to work and like not think anything of it. Except that there was one night we plugged the thing in and I went to the bathroom and thankfully my handy dandy first world problem watch said, hey, by the way, your first world problem car stopped charging. And I was like, okay, that's way sooner than normal, but okay. And I was like, hey, guess what? Your stupid car's not charging.
I'm like, fine, I'll go check on it.
I'm so glad you went to check.
P.S. We live in a row home. For those of you who don't understand this, it's like we are in the middle unit house that's 3 stories with our garage on the first story and 1 bedroom on the first story that, may or may not hold a triggered millennial. There's a second story that is like living room kind of stuff, living kitchen kind of whatever. And then there's a third story that's the 2 bedrooms on top. There's that. But we're in a building, a huge complex that has like 5 or 6 other houses that are like that, 3 stories, whatever, but then like 5 or 6 deep. So we're like right in the middle of the thing. So goes from the top story and slowly making his way down to the bottom story, which you could smell burning plastic.
Also, by that point, I was already like
Delicious.
pretty much asleep. So
right.
I don't feel like that's an
I was
excuse.
in
what
bed.
happens.
I too sleep
was
through
in
fires.
bed trying to sleep,
So
and then I hear like all these rumbling noises and like
3
garage door opening, and I'm like, what the? Are you like gonna like drive your car somewhere at 11 o'clock at night? What's wrong with you?
3-story townhouse. I'm on the top story. I get down to the middle story and I'm like, I feel like I smell an electrical burning. Like, when your electronics fry, I'm like,
Ooh,
I have
blue
that
smoke.
Yeah. Right? I feel like I smell that, but it wasn't too bad. And I turn and I start walking down the stairs and I get hit with this wall of like electrical burning smell. And it was potent. And I at this point, I'm like, uh-oh. Because her thing was just like, hey, by the way, your car stopped charging. Now I'm thinking to myself, car's on fire. Close, not quite. Car was fine. Open up the door to the garage, and a blanket of smoke came out. And I'm like, ah! So I get in there, and I don't see fire, which is good. So I open up the garage door, and I go over to the car, and the car seems okay. And then I'm looking at the charger thing, and it's a wall thing that has the little charging symbols on it, and it's not even giving me power to that. So I'm like, all right. And I go over to the breaker panel.
Wait. Johnny Spacer in the chat room says, didn't your smoke detector go off?
There is no smoke detector in the garage. Now there is.
There will
fire
be
sale-
now.
There will be
For
now.
now.
There will be now. So I'm going to
Just,
add one.
FYI.
There's a smoke
sprinkler
detector on the-
system,
there-
but
yeah,
no smoke detector.
We do have a sprinkler system. We have smoke detectors on the first floor where the humans are, but not in the garage.
Right.
Not yet. So why not? I know. I didn't actually. There will be. I get it.
We
I
didn't
get
think
it.
the car was going to be on fire, okay?
All right. So, smoking. So I'm like, all right. And I go over to the breaker panel and I open the door and this waft of heat comes out at me. And I look at the 50 amp circuit and it's literally melting. And I'm like, ah! So then I'm like, obviously, I need to shut off the mains. This is bad. So I go to the mains, which are not in this breaker panel, which I'm used to.
Because we're
Yeah,
not in a
cool.
standalone house.
Well, they kind of move mains outside now. That's the general thing. But in the old homes I'm used to, the mains are directly above the panel. So I'm like, oh. So now I need to stop electrifying this circuit. And so I go to flip the circuit, and it is scalding hot.
To be fair, he has baby hands.
I do have baby hands.
Like, there are people who go to Starbucks and they ask for kids temp because even though they are grown-ass adults, their mouth can't handle, 160 degrees for some reason. And so they ask for kids temp, which is more like 140. He has baby hands. The computer right now is probably hot to him.
No, but that's fine.
Probably.
So it won't.
He starts texting me and I'm like, ugh, fine.
I can't break the circuit.
I'm
right?
coming downstairs and I touch it. I'm like, you just,
I
that's
like
hot.
I like that you texted Carrie Ann.
It's the third floor. He's not going to walk all the way up there.
As opposed to yelling up the stairwell,
She
hey!
would've heard. She
No, I
would've
wouldn't
heard.
have heard it. We know this because Mike got locked outside. We've already gone through that.
Yeah, it's a soundproof house.
Oh,
She wouldn't have heard.
right.
Right. Plus,
right.
he'd already closed all of his circles for the day and already beat Lisa, so it doesn't matter.
Right. So I'm working to get that circuit de-electrified, but then it's because fire and heat go up, it's destroying the circuits above it as well. So now I've got the GFI. There's a GFI circuit above it that I can't de-electrify. And then there was one above it that I just started anything on that side of the board. I'm just like slamming my hand against just to shut off. And then eventually. It cooled down enough where I was able to get the GFI circuit off, and then I was finally able to get the 50 amp circuit over, and they pulled it. You know what? Hang on. Let me see if I can add these. I just realized I've been telling the story, and I realize I have photos. So I'm sorry. Give me a second. I don't know.
By this point, I wake up and I'm like, what?
Oh,
the
there's
cough asleep halfway.
huge commotion going on, right? Because
And I'm like,
the house
okay,
is burning down.
something is actually happening.
I mean,
so I get out of bed.
fires tend to get you moving.
No, you know what? Because I think I heard you on the phone to like
Right, Dada?
911.
No.
No, it wasn't 911.
I
It
was
wasn't that
on. No, it wasn't that bad. Let's see here.
Do you guys not have a fire extinguisher in the garage?
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh.
We will have one of those too. Let's see here.
Make sure it's the right kind of fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
Yes.
Because
I know.
since you've got a
power.
very large amount of lithium-ion batteries sitting
Yes,
in
we
there,
do.
you should definitely get a specific. You should have 2 different kinds of fire extinguishers.
Probably 3.
So or 3, sure.
Well, you should have a K in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not a joke. Like,
Yeah.
there is a K fire extinguisher
absolutely.
for the kitchen.
Yeah, we have to take fire training stuff and things. All
Yeah.
right.
You guys ever used a fire extinguisher before?
Yes, I have.
I
Yeah,
have.
it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, we had
Sort
to do
of.
it for Science Circus.
Sort
This
of.
guy came in, he just like lit a fire in a thing and then just gave us all fire extinguishers. Like, your turn, go. And you had to put it out. It was fun. Like, maybe it shouldn't be fun, but it was fun.
Yeah, powder extinguisher. Oh, Boring Company fire extinguisher. That would be great, Steven. Steven Fiddler off of YouTube. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 160 FS71C. Sorry. Thank you. I apologize, American
Oh, yeah, I
units.
was trying to do that in conversion in my head. And I couldn't.
Alrighty.
Yeah, his hands are sensitive, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm going to put this in. You want a media player 1 or 2?
That is not
Did you take
there?
video of it?
I don't care either.
Ooh, look at it melt.
Media player
No,
1.
he didn't take
there you
videos.
go.
He did take pictures of it after the fact. There you go.
All right, so that is what the panel. You can kind of see.
In the lower left corner there.
You can see it like melty. And then if you want to look at what the circuit looked like after the fact,
Actually, yeah, after taking it out.
yeah, that's.
Which,
that-
to be fair, I didn't completely understand either when you sent me those pictures. That
How about
I understood, though.
Yeah,
I
that's-
sure as hell understood that.
That's the charred middle of our panel. How about? Oops, that's too far. How
Yeah,
about
that's
that?
terrible. Yeah, that's
delicious.
not what that should look like in any way, shape, or form.
So there you
Hi,
go.
Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut.
Hello,
Tim
Tim
Dodd,
Dodd,
the everyday
everyday
astronaut's
astronaut.
here.
Yeah, so. No, not the front of our house. The other side of the bathroom to Lisa's bathroom in the garage where the breaker panel is. And the breaker panel broke. Haha. I made a pun, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah,
All
you're
right,
welcome.
we're 20-something minutes away from.
Yeah, we should stop.
Yeah, so we
Going
should
on this
probably start setting up. Someone mentioned that the website has the wrong time. It has the old time for science, so I'll get that updated too. Whoopsie doopers.
Amigiac asked, so why didn't it trip?
So it
Good
melted
question.
to the point where you couldn't actually flip it to the off position.
It failed. It should have. It should have tripped.
It should have tripped and it failed.
Fundamentally, that's the scary problem there.
Everyday astronaut. Basically, what happened was the car stopped charging. We didn't understand why. Ben went downstairs because he smelled plastic burning, and Lisa decided to not check it out, even though triggered. Hashtag triggered. I apologize. When he opened the garage door, went to the breaker panel, he saw all the melty pictures. It is now being replaced today.
As we speak.
There you go. Is that a good enough of a recap?
I'm overcompensating its replacement too. I'm doing instead of a 40 amp circuit for the EV, we're putting a 100 amp circuit in. The mains into the unit are being upgraded by an additional 75 amps.
It is the Carrie Ann show. Yes, holy hell, that is scary. Absolutely. So if your car ever stops charging in the middle of the night and you don't understand why,
Check on it.
For the love of all things, please go check on it, just in case, should your breaker panel also melt to death.
Melted to death. All right, I need to move you.
Okay, did the breaker have a warranty that covers that damage? Unknown.
Yeah, we're going to check into that because it was less than 2 years old, and actually that particular breaker was even less than that. And it was a good breaker, right? This isn't like an off-brand breaker. This is it's an Eaton breaker, and their stuff is generally freaking solid. So we're very surprised that we had this issue. But you know, things happen.
No redundancy in the safety circuit. See Soyuz. Yeah, thank you, Richard. Appreciate that.
There was also a hole in the bathroom. I don't know. Too soon? Too soon?
I one time prevented something like this for a 100 breaker cabin. The reward was a beach towel. Thanks for keep. Carrie Ann should play 2 roles like Patty Duke. Marty the Martian. That's funny. That makes me laugh. Johnny Spacer's asking, could it be the car's computer?
No.
According to the guys who were doing the repaneling thing, it just sounds like it could just be an accidental faulty breaker.
Not yet.
What?
I'm not sure where this needs to all go yet.
Moon table, moon table, moon table.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Thank you, Minnesota Nice T-shirt. Yes, that is the correct interpretation. You only hit a 40 amp breaker, asked Everyday Astronaut?
No, it was a 50 amp breaker. It was a 40 amp circuit for the car on a 50, well, it was a 40 amp power supply for the car on a 50 amp breaker.
Everyday says he's got a 60 amp so he can charge at 48.
Correct. And that was part of the problem is that the old
Sure.
Teslas that we had were 32.
I brought
Oh my goodness.
the everything one. I took a rip out of, so sorry about that.
No,
but
that's okay. This looks like blueberry.
it's a blueberry. It's
Oh.
really good.
I am totes
Do you like a
taking it.
bagel?
Maybe.
Do
Where are they
it.
from?
I
New
don't know.
York?
Someplace in. I wish you were from New York.
Oh.
New York, yeah. My mom
Be
mailed it
amazing.
from New York.
What's that one?
Somewhere in Hollywood. That's I think a raisin or blueberry. I'm not
Blueberry.
too
Does
sure.
this generally look
Blueberry,
okay?
yeah.
Hang on, we need the other moon table.
But
Oh, they said
we ordered,
I
like-
can't pull it apart.
like
It's so
100
big.
of them at work, and we had a lot left over yesterday. So I was like, I'll grab them. But yeah, so, would you like a bagel, Princess Ben?
Oh, also happy birthday for yesterday. Or the day before. I didn't know what day
Day
it was.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I was actually looking today as Discovery 1.11, which is hilarious because I'm 11.1.
Haha.
Irony. I
That's
like
so
these
good.
chairs a lot.
Right?
They don't bounce.
I know, they're so good.
Way better than last week.
I like them a lot. They're cozy. I like the color too. It looks really cool on camera.
Right?
Like the little pattern and stuff.
I was really worried. Because it
Really?
looks a little bit like noise to the camera.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a not zero chance by the time it went through compression, it would look like static.
Oh no.
No, it ended up being
But it
okay.
doesn't, right?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't.
All right.
Why do you have 3 chairs?
Aren't you on science? Oh, you're not on science?
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were going to do science still. You don't have to. Okay.
No, it's these 2.
All right.
Yay. Wait. Are you doing science with me?
Oh,
No.
I mean,
Oh, okay, Jade. I
I'm
was
not.
Like, wait, yes.
Sorry.
This is fun. We'll just sit here and eat bagels.
Uh-huh.
So,
Welcome to the Bagel Show.
welcome to the bagel show.
What?
Let me go put these back.
Tickle
so
stuff.
dense, but it's so amazing.
The bouncy chairs are back in the green room, basically where they belong.
Yeah, those bouncy chairs they were just so we could try because we needed something.
Lisa, can you go grab me the pillow? Smokey Dirk, why do you want to see the pillow? This pillow? It's not nerd themed.
Nope.
Well,
It's Disney.
it's
themed.
Disnerd themed. It is pretty.
Yeah, we like them.
No, it's not exactly Simpsons. It's not from The Shining.
Everyone's gonna try. No one's gonna
But
guess what it's from.
I know, but I could see why you would think that. It does have that kind of vibe to it to a certain extent. Pattern on the chair fabric is familiar. Does it have a space meaning? Chris
no.
Radcliffe, no. But I could see how and or why you would say that.
And that's actually.
Becky, too soon, man. Apu was one of my favorite characters. Oh, I know my mic on.
Haha.
It has a Ben and Carrie Ann meaning.
The side tables are awesome, aren't they? They're so
We've
cute.
got 3 more coming.
I don't know. Athena's like Jack Skellington right now.
Oh, that was.
Skellington?
Yeah. There's a song in the movie. What's this? What's this?
What's this?
Oh,
Oh,
God, I
yes.
love your nails. That's a rock. It used to be in the aquarium, but I think I did some experiments,
Oh, okay.
and I think that's what was raising the pH.
Ah, really? That's cool. If I
Did
put
you
this in my
stabilize?
water, can I drink it?
Well, now it stopped getting any more basic, so.
Yeah, Chris Radcliffe, completely understand. But no, West Elm just makes it in this pattern. Just so happens to be. But I do 1,000% totally not see what you're saying in any way, shape, or form, because I definitely have not seen any of that and wouldn't
What'd he say?
ever. I would have no way to do that.
What did he say?
Huh.
Definitely one that I'd pick because redacted is what he said.
But it looks okay in camera, right, everyone? Like it doesn't have this weird. It's not vibrating on the screen, or it doesn't look like static. It doesn't look like the pattern is moving.
Everyday Astronaut says, like all metal, but somehow still absorbent.
He's talking about changing the floor. We should put down like green carpet and then green screen. It should look like something really cool.
I hate every word you just
Wow.
used. So, like, a black shiny floor, unknown. I don't know. It needs to not be this.
Shiny
But yeah,
tiles.
definitely super futuristic would be nice. But not white.
Not white.
Fabric looks good at 1080p. It's a big number, so it must be better, right?
All right, we're gonna.
Just saying.
He's also like, I think, I don't know.
Bathroom smells amazing, by the way.
Yay!
Love that thing. Is that from Bath and Body Works?
No.
Really?
Yeah, just Target Boutique.
Target. I noticed the Target bag in the green room with the giant
Oh,
white
yeah.
billboard. I was like, look like someone at the Target.
Yeah, oh my goodness, totes.
Athena, thank you for the bagels. Those are delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I'm
right.
glad you like them. I'll tell my
Flat
boss.
Like, I want to.
Anti-grav.
I
And then I
forgot.
started eating and I was like, this is so good, I don't want to stop.
I know you like it. Yay. Well, there's definitely more in there.
Yay!
Otherwise,
Sorry,
I
I
would have
realized
just
I'm
thrown
in
them
a
all
chair.
out. It's all good.
Yeah, somebody was asking about it, whether or not it was a phase 2, phase 3. Honestly, Space Danger, I don't know.
Laptop.
All right.
Get you guys sorted with your ears.
Hello.
Oh, this is
Looking professional.
so cute. Here, Miss JD, have a seat.
Dude, Forever 21.
Forever 21 has a bunch of NASA stuff right
Well,
now.
my friend got it for me, but yeah. And then I have like a metallic-y aluminum foil looking jacket, but I didn't wear it because it was like so hot out today.
Stupid hot.
For anyone that's like in LA, I don't know. Wait, no one can hear me. I just realized.
Yeah, for anyone who's in LA, it's stupid hot today. Is it stupid
Microphone.
hot today? I guess that's possible.
Well, I'll just sit here and do this.
Ben is gonna love that both of you are wearing white, so that's gonna be hilarious.
Right, we never wear white. Well, I'm wearing red underneath.
Yeah. No, I mean it's
Maybe
cute.
like a half-half.
Nah, I think it's fine.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's blending it too much.
Nah, I
Right?
think you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Are the chairs gonna be okay? I know you two are both tall.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Sit like this. Like,
Yeah.
hey, how's it going? Okay. Like,
Nice.
I need your
This is so
microphone, pretty please.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
All right.
Athena.
Oh,
hello everyone.
Athena is Capcom. All right, kids.
Oh,
It's been nice
Commander.
chatting.
Oh, it may be.
I thought it was. Wait, are you Capcom? I thought you were Capcom. Or are you Or am I?
Well, either way, somebody needs Capcom mic.
All right,
So,
someone say goodbye to After Dark.
bye.